Good evening, everyone. Tonight, first off, I want to thank the University of South Florida for the opportunity to showcase our ability on the national stage. First class program, and these type of games you become a family to play. I thought our guys all played hard for 4 quarters. But it's hard to beat a good football team when you turn the ball over 5 times and have 7 quick wounds. So, you take away those and it's maybe a different outcome. But like everything else in life, we'll learn from it. This is a resilient group of guys, and we've come a long way. And the talent's there. I think everyone saw that tonight. The talent's there, but like we always tell our guys, talent's not enough. It's about little things. We'll get back to the drawing board tomorrow. 24-hour rule. It stings, it hurts, but like I said, it hurts because we care. And these guys put in a lot of hard work, and this is what they wanted. But that's life. Got tip I had in South Florida. They made the plays they needed to make. And we did at times, but a lot of good things to take away. When we watch the film, there'll be a lot of good things that we saw, but there'll also be a lot of things that we did correct before next week. As we have another non-conference game, it's a very quality opponent at home. So, again, definitely proud of these guys, how they competed, and that's all I ask of them. The corrections we'll make, but I'm still definitely proud of how they competed.
Coach, what was the biggest takeaway? What thing did the team just not correct and cause turnovers?
Well, just to protect the ball. We talk to the guys all the time about how to carry the football. We use numbers: 1 ball, 2 ball, 3 ball, 4 ball. Right? 1 ball is perfect ball security, high and tight, wrist above the elbow, chin in the ball. Every fumble, the ball is loose, and so it's just about stressing little things. And you got to protect the football. Defense is taught to tackle the ball, put the helmets on the ball, and neither one's a crushing hit. Just full ball security. And we got to protect it better. Moussa obviously had some throws there that got away from him. I asked a lot of him, probably more than I've ever asked of any quarterback that I've ever coached. And so just seeing the whole field, making the checks, making the throws, making the adjustments, that's what we're asking them to do. And a game like this is really good for him to watch on film and to see. I think it's going to make him a much better quarterback moving forward. He has all the ability in the world, and we believe in him. We're going to ride him till the wheels fall off. But again, just turnovers. That's the biggest thing offensively. Defensively, I thought those guys played really, really good football against a high-powered offense. Coach Goldish came from Tennessee, where they scored more points than lost allowed the last few years. And that up-tempo, high-powered offense they run, I thought our defense stood toe-to-toe with it. We gave them a couple of free first downs, and that was, you can't give a team more opportunities when they're already high tempo. So, again, just clean up those little things on defense. They threw a trick play there before halftime, but it should have been covered, just bad eyes. So just fundamentals. Our second F is fundamental. So we're going to get back to the drawing board, clean those things up, and I think this team will be as good as any team we've had around in a very long time.
Coach, when you have 4 turnovers and then your defense only allowed 3 points off of turnovers, how encouraging it was to kind of see those guys be able to kind of get put in unfavorable situations but still be able to stand back?
Well, I've said it from the beginning. This defense has a chance to be as good as any I've been around. These guys are special. They fly around, they challenge throws, they tackle well, they get after the quarterback. We stacked those guys 5 times. I don't know how many West Virginia had against them last week, but I think it's more. So we can get after the quarterback. We can play in space, and so this defense has a chance to be special. Part-time defense really showed what they're capable of today. Just clean up a couple of little things again with just bad eyes, communication. This is the fastest team we'll go against all year, so it's good. We saw it early in the season, we make the correction. But I don't know what else you can say about defense that's still tall like that. After, like I said, after putting the beer basically, all the turnovers were, aside from the one for halftime, were on the minus side of the field. So they got the ball in a short field, and we stood up a couple 4th down stops. So again, I'm proud of Coach Smith and the defense staff for the job. We just got to clean up some of the substitution issues. We knew that the tempo they were going to play with, we can't have 12 guys on the field, 13 guys, 10 guys on the field with that tempo. We cleaned that stuff up, and I think we got a chance to be pretty special.
Jeremy, it seemed like you got into a rhythm and you used a lot of different receivers. Was that the goal, or was that just what South Florida was giving you?
Yeah, I think Coach gives us the play from the sideline. I go through my reads. I trust all the guys that Coach AC puts out there. I'm not looking for any one guy. I go through my progression. Whoever's open, I give the ball to. That's my job. When it comes time to look at matchups, I'll do so. But I'm just taking what the defense gives me.
Coach, we seemed like we ran the ball a little less this week than we did the previous week. Was there something in the game plan or something you saw in the scouting report from USF that led to that, or just game flow? Can you talk a little bit about run-pass ratio?
Well, they loaded the box against us. It challenged a lot of man coverage, more so than they played all season. I think they were a little concerned about our shifts and motions, and so I think you just play man coverage. You don't have to worry about all that. You just match the guy that's moving. So I think that was their game plan. So they were able to always keep one more guy in the box that we can block. A lot of pressures. One drive there in the first half, we went on an 11-play drive and scored. They pressured 10 times on an 11-play drive. So clearly, you're not going to run the ball right into the face of pressure. So I think that was their game plan. Put it in the receiver's hands. We tell our defense the same thing. If you can stop the run and make a team one-dimensional, it makes it a little bit easier to defend. So we ran the ball 270 yards last week. If we were able to run it against them, it makes it hard to stop us. So their plan worked as far as stopping the run. We threw for 358 yards. But yeah, 29 still, we had the ball 29 times. We just didn't have very much success when we did. So we got to get back to the drawing board. The teams try to follow that same blueprint. We definitely got to have an answer for it.
We saw last week where special teams kicking was kind of an issue, and it looks like you addressed it. But how important was it, the contribution of Trey Lloyd? We saw where he was booming some kicks and put them in some great positions, or put the team in some great positions. How important was his impact on the game?
Well, in a game like this, field position is critical. And so when you got a punter who has the ability to trade, it's a weapon. So we want to make sure we protect them and then cover. One of the kicks we didn't cover very well, had some positive yards. One he missed hit. But again, help your weapon for us. Kickoff wise, we gave up a big return early, and went to more of a sky kick later on. So we gotta look at that. Again, this is the fastest team more likely that we'll play all season. Everybody else will be even, probably ability wise, but we gotta be able to cover. And Mike Smith has a strong leg, we kick the ball to the end zone. Trey Lloyd has a strong leg, we plant the ball 45+ yards. So we got to be able to cover it. If we can do that, we'll be able to flip the field. But again, coverage wasn't as good as we wanted it to be tonight. I thought the kicker did a decent job, and we did clean up the field goals and extra points. We had to block. That's a step in the right direction.
Coach, playing an FBS school, it often has a negative connotation, but this team had a real chance to defeat that FBS team today. Is that the goal in your scheduling? And I know the coaches only have so much to do with the scheduling, but to have a game that there's a much more probability of having a chance to win.
Well, I think our goal is to prepare to represent FAMU in the games that we play. I think we have a realistic fan base. I think they expect us to be competitive in games like this. We play G5 schools, and South Florida's been a great opponent for us the last couple of years. Both years we come down here, we played well enough to be in the ball game. Just a couple of mishaps here and there. Sometimes it makes it a little bit more difficult when you're playing the big Power Fives. You had LSU, Grambling today. I don't know what the final score was, but those are more. You gotta be careful. So like my boss says, hopefully I don't know what plans I'm moving forward. I'd much rather kind of be in those games where you feel like you got a better chance to come out, be competitive. But again, the South Floridas, the Central Floridas, the schools in our state, it's always good to play those teams. They're close. A lot of these guys played each other in high school, so we definitely embrace the chance to play a team like South Florida.
Sure. Jeremy, when you come in and you have a new receiving core and you're trying to build chemistry, of course you're going to have the mishaps. Of course, today you had a few of those. Kind of tell me a little bit about that. Could it have been USF depth or speed or anything like that. So kind of talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I think the first pick, I have to watch the film, but just kind of a miscommunication on whether it's one or too high. I threw it like it's up the seam, receiver bent into the middle. So that one's probably on me. Got to look at the film. The second one, just a screen got tipped. I got to probably throw that in the dirt. Last one's fourth down. Got to give our guys a chance at least to make a catch. I'm not so much worried about that last one. I thought our guys fought hard. I think overall I played a pretty clean game. A couple of decisions here and there that I wish I could have back. But I think you saw how we can move the ball, move it efficiently. And like Coach said, it's hard to win a game when we turn it over 5 times. We got to do a better job of ball security. But I think everyone sees how good this group can be.
You mentioned the UCF game out there, but how did that experience in playing with that kind of tempo prepare you for this game? Because you mentioned that the tempo would be similar to this in the pregame press conference.
Well, we a couple of guys were on the team in 19. We played UCF, not many, but we knew again it's the same coaching tree. That was Coach Eichel. Obviously, Coach Goldrich came from Eichel's tree, so we knew that it would be that same type of tempo. So we tried our best. It's hard to assimilate. That's the problem. You operate off cards in practice. Well, you can't card up tempo, and so you never really see the speed until you actually get in the game. And so we tried to prepare our guys for it, talk to them about it, talk about substitutions. As coaches, we got to do a better job. I thought a couple of substitutions were on us. Seeing up top, if they're subbing or if they're trying to play with tempo, we can't sub at that point. So a few times early in the game, we got ourselves caught up with too many guys on the field. Guys not getting on at all. So again, it's a lesson learned. I hadn't watched all the teams in the conference. I hadn't watched the other teams in the conference other than Jackson. I'm sure we'll play some teams that want to play with tempo, and this will be a good experience for those guys to learn how to line up prepare. But again, we outgained them. Looking at the stats now, we only had 360 yards for total offense. That's unbelievable for our defense. They ran for 333 yards last week. They only ran for 126 today. And so there's not much you can say to the defense at this point. They're playing great ball. They got take away a couple of those, like I said, a lot of mishaps. Kendall thought he saw the receiver flinch and jam him, and they called an offside on 3rd and 4. You take that one back, we played really good on 3rd down. It was out 8 of 19. And so, defensively, we got a chance to be special. Offensively, I think we do too. We just gotta clean some things up and obviously get back to establishing the run. Obviously, we didn't win the ball very well today, but that's we'll beat that part fix.
Last question. Any update on Cardell, and then also talk about trying to go from a Group 5 game to now a D2 game, the challenge of trying to make sure that you stay focused. And I know you got a lot of senior leadership and so forth, but just kind of talk about that transition, getting ready for the next game.
Well, it's a great opportunity. First home game, obviously we're honoring Ken Riley, debuting Ken Riley Field, beautiful video board, riding the nation second longest on West Street. So there are enough motivating factors to get our guys to lock in. And again, West Florida won that championship a couple years ago. And so this isn't a pushover. This is a very, very quality opponent. And for our team, again, it's about being where our feet are, right? This is the biggest game coming up that we've ever played in our lives because it's the next one on the schedule. And so for us, it's about just the maturity. Jeremy, Jalen Dawes, Isaiah Major, those guys got to lead this week. Make sure we stay focused. But I feel confident that this group will be ready to play. And we'll like I said, we'll let it sting tonight. We'll have our 24-hour rule. We'll get back tomorrow at 4 o'clock, and we'll put it in bed, and we'll get on to West Florida. We got a great opportunity. Looking forward to seeing Rap the Nation show up in full effect and Rap Memorial Stadium next weekend.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Coach.
Appreciate it.
All right. And we have a Monday morning press conference via Zoom.